All right, good morning, YouTube. So April, as a woman voter, so we have men and woman, man and woman, that for one, in all my living years, and I'm sure April's now, that we never knew that you could go early vote. And this is a month and a week, right? Early, in some places, in some states.
It's 17 days.
It's the elections in 17 days?
Yeah, the early voting just started last week.
Okay, so within 3 weeks you can early vote.
Yeah.
We never knew that. So, because I guess we weren't paying attention, or that now they're advertising the crap out of it. So it's nice to know that you can do that. I didn't know that before, because in the old days there wasn't social media and the internet and all this other stuff of ways to pump in you full of fake news and real news, right?
They're even talking about early voting on the news. Like, I've literally never heard about it.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, in the old days, all you heard on the news is go vote on election day.
Right.
So you had to ramp up the day before, the day of craziness, and then the day of the aftermath, right? So for the people, we're on pins and needles for 3 days. Now we're getting some information, 3 weeks early, and we're like, huh? Something's not adding up. Why is Kamala doing so well? And then I'm like, is that fake news? And that's Fox News on YouTube. And you hear Trump say fake news, and a lot of people say fake news. Even my brother says fake news. How do you really know? Like, there's so much corruption everywhere, right?
She's a Kamala one too.
Corruption. I've never seen more advertisements with static billboards and job signs and posters than I've ever seen. Philadelphia is just, 95 is plastered with it. And actually, Roosevelt Boulevard was, one side was Trump with job signs, and the other side was with Kamala. So, for me, when I rationalize about all the effed up things going on in our world, right? And then the most popular things that they talk about, you have Kamala saying nothing. Her conversations are, well, if you elect me, I'll do something about it. And then on the other hand, Trump is like, yep, I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to do something about it. I promise I'm going to do something about it. She's like, well, if you vote for me, I'll lower your grocery prices and your energy costs.
Her main conversations are about abortion.
And I don't even feel that that's even a topic for...
Well, it would attract a lot of women voters.
Forget that. Forget even that. You want people to be able to have a choice for...
But you're not understanding what I'm saying. She's attracting women voters.
I know, but Trump said, I don't care what individual states do about the abortion laws. It's no longer up to the federal government. He said that he washed his hands of it. So their beef isn't with the president, right? The beef is like the government said, hey, we're out of this. The states are the ones that have to deal with that. So let their state and local laws decide on the outcome. And then they can take that up with their state senators and their, and things like that. And I think that's the right move.
Yeah, I agree.
You want a certain amount of population control, and then you want to do it in the right way. But the state should say, hey, you're not fit to have children. You're not fit to take care of them. So if you're out there popping babies out left and right with 8 to 10 different baby daddies, and you're on the system, you're not helping anything. So whatever the case may be. But who in their right mind would want, and who even in their right mind says that Kamala and Biden have wrecked the country with immigration? Not only that, pissing away your tax dollars. I, for one, am for someone who wants to stop the bleeding, right? I'm not for one who wants to continue the bleeding of our money in our country. That is just such asinine. And the people, I don't know what their people's thoughts are. Like, oh, it's just okay to have 1 billion extra people here on our government dollars doing shit for the country for free. They moved in next door to me in a $300,000 house that I'm still paying for. And they're getting for free. Free food, free electric, free this, free that. Right? While you're busting your ass. Does that make any sense to all the people out there? Like, oh, Kamala this and Kamala that. Fuck Kamala. Let's get the country back on track. That's the most important part. But, April is voting, and I don't influence her vote, and we would definitely have a conversation if it was in the opposite field. Like, you're not popping out babies anymore. What the fuck do you care what she has to say about abortion?
The reason why I'm not in favor for her has nothing to do with abortion. It has everything to do with her being in office for the last 4 years and everything sucks.
4 years and everything. There's just so much out of control.
If she didn't do anything,
no.
If she didn't have the authority or she didn't have the stance to do anything in the past couple of years, what makes our future look any different?
I would say, if I said what was a positive influence for me during Biden and Kamala, I say nothing, because I deal with medium to low income customers in my business, right? I don't deal with a lot of millionaires and billionaires, right? We don't see Lamborghinis, Ferraris, and stuff like that at Meineke Sentiments, or $1 million yachts getting towed by. So, right, we're working class people and less, and I see it every day that they're struggling. And why is that? Well, it's not because of Trump, right? I see Kensington, right? This is Philadelphia. You see Kensington full of crackheads and dope heads and needles and heroin bags everywhere. I don't ever remember it being that bad under Trump administration. That's the truth. If you watch the videos, it's been a ramp up.
I think it more hurts us in the economy part of it.
I'm just saying, for what I see right here,
Yeah.
If the economy was so much better, my business would be better, right?
Correct.
That's how I look at things. Auto repair would be better. And I'm sure it's different for everybody. Like, if I talk to a bunch of different business owners and different select things and the customers and demographics they deal with, people with tons of money, it doesn't really matter what a price a gallon of gas costs, or if a loaf of bread was $80. It wouldn't matter to them.
Right.
Not when they have $500,000 cars and $10 million in the bank and this, that, and everything. They're in a whole nother level of the world of going on. They go to ShopRite and they're like, they didn't even notice the price increase. Where the average person's like, holy crap, I noticed that. Price of gasoline, I noticed that. So the people that I service, this is what I hear on a regular basis. They're struggling, they're hurting. They got kicked off the healthcare system that they so-called that they need because they can't do for themselves, because they made room for the migrants and immigration.
Yeah.
And that's a fact. But we're going to bring these people over here and they're going to go to work on their farms. We had people working on the farms as it is. And that's not going to change, right? So farmers are going to have to just pay minimum wage like we do, or more, to keep going. And that just drives inflation up too, right? People have to make more money if the cost of everything is so high, So how do you fix that? You have to drive down the cost of everything.
Right.
Therefore, the people won't be screaming for raises. Right?
But in order for the prices to drive down, it's got to be cheaper for the supermarkets and everything to purchase the items.
I don't believe that immigration labor is going to do that.
No, I don't.
I think that's a piece of the puzzle. If you can get them to work for less than the minimum wage, which is against the law, right?
But the supermarkets and the department stores can't really. They only have so much wiggle room because of how much they're spending to supply it.
Cost of energy would be the biggest factor, I would say, for anything. It takes energy to make products.
Right, and the electric costs keep going up, and they have to pay their electric bill just like we do.
Yep, their electric. Yep. So
if that means paying $3 more for, anything, then.
So for me, the biggest thing is affordable energy, and you can say that with steam, wind, solar, diesel, bio, oil. Trump wants to hit our natural resources. Do it, man.
We've had all these people on strike, because they want more money. Well, that's going to make our pockets get
I
easier.
don't believe that the UAW workers are entitled to any. Sorry, guys. If you're watching my channel, you're overpaid for what you're doing as it is now.
But they know that they can get it if they do it.
Yeah, and what they do, they're going to drive the cost of cars up even more to where no one can afford a car.
They know if they picket, because everything that they're picketing or what they do is in demand. So if they put a little sign out and they say, I want more money for a couple days, they're going to get it.
Yeah, until you're eliminated, because that's coming, sons. They will have people doing your job for less, migrants, mind you, for $15 an hour while you're making $80. And they're going to say, well, you're done.
Right.
Go find another job making $80 an hour. You're not going to do that, because they're going to eliminate those positions. So trust me, the auto manufacturers want their cost of doing business way down to increase their profits and then provide a product no different than me that a customer can afford. That's the truth.
Right.
And not such a crappy product that it costs them money in the long run. So yeah, like, this is just how I feel. And you think about the things of the world that you hear the most. Well, you hear it's Wall Street, it's the economy, it's the new car manufacturers and all that. It's the big pops. Oh well, Stellantis is going bankrupt and these people can't sell cars. That affects everyone instantly. That's an instant impact. Car prices are through the roof. Interest rates are too high. And it's a lot of moving pieces to this. So, when I think about all that stuff, Trump gives me the answers that I'm looking for.
Right. If you compare notes to the both of them, it should be Trump.
But we're not looking
not
for
trying.
any handouts from the government. So I don't know how that plays into certain aspects of welfare and public assistance. I mean, they have no problems bringing in people. Kamala bringing in people from other countries and giving them $100,000 lifestyle on your tax dollars.
Correct.
And now their children are bumping your children out of school.
Right.
And you can't go to the daycare center now because they're full and they're getting paid by the government to have their children there while you have to pay.
And most daycares will welcome that in because they know they're going to get paid.
Absolutely. Guaranteed money.
Yeah.
Guaranteed state money. I'm saying the American people, the not hardworking, just American people, these two clowns, as they smile on your face and stick the knife in your back, this is how it is. That's the truth. You want to go to the rec center? Can't. You know why? Migrants. All hanging out, getting free money, free cell phones, free food until they get placed into a nice, warm, brand new, cozy home next to your house that needs $20,000, $30,000 with repairs that no one will help you with.
Right. It's true.
It's the truth, right? As you drive by and you see that veteran sitting on the street, hasn't showered in months, maybe hasn't eaten and needs, medical attention, they'll pick up a corner of migrants on a free bus ride before they would go out and pick up all your vets who need help.
Right.
That's the truth.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Yep, the people who protect your country, they would drive right by them, past their destination, to go pick up the busload or plane load or boatload of migrants or immigrants who are here legally or illegally before they even would stop to offer you a fucking sandwich, right?
Right.
That's the truth. So the Trumpster fills my needs, and I believe it fills most of my consumers' needs. And we're not talking about, Social Security and stuff that I will need in the near future, right? Social Security and Medicaid. My father, who's 70-something years old, is paying ridiculous amounts of money on Medicaid or Medicare, right? Whatever the fuck it is. And his Social Security is peanuts, and it would be impossible for him to really live on his own based on the program that the government and the states allow, right? But they would take care of immigrants and migrants before they would take care of a 73-year-old born American citizen. That's the truth. If you just give the math there, they give more benefits.
Your dad has a lot of negative things.
Who doesn't have nothing to do with him? I'm just saying in general.
But
they would help people from not our country who have never contributed a fucking hand or a dime before they would help their own seniors. Just like the veterans.
The seniors have a lot of resources.
But it's
out
not
there.
enough for them to live the lifestyle in comparison to the immigration and migrants. So if you take the scale of what senior citizens who haven't had a fruitful financial future prepare for themselves, and they're relying on the system. The system is not there for them like it is for current events for migrants and immigrants. You understand? My dad can't go get free food, free electric, or free healthcare, or fucking a free bus ride.
Yeah.
Nothing. So, that pisses me off. And not only just for him, for the rest of the world, and I'm going to be there eventually too. So if they don't stop the free lunch line, it was hard enough for us to take care of people with our American people with our free lunch line. No different than people living in tents in your community and living on the streets, and American people losing their homes, right?
Yeah.
They're putting foreigners, immigrants, migrants in your place and paying for it. That's fucked up. So that's why we're for Trump. No tax on overtime. Well, the government's just gonna have to make some cuts. I'm okay with that. No tax for tips, right? Some people live on overtime, right? And they say, well, my overtime, I work 10 hours of overtime. Fuck, I might as well not even work. They took 80%.
Yeah. I agree.
I worked for, $3 an hour as a waitress. And, my tips are, if I'm lucky to make $50, $60 for the day, I got to pay taxes on that. That's just crazy.
Yeah.
You'd have to give them a raise, right? And then what's a raise going to do to the restaurant business? It's going to make going out to eat even more outrageous.
Yeah.
So the government has to make some sacrifices. And there's plenty of fat in the government. I guarantee that. Why does a toilet cost $80,000 when I go to Home Depot and I can get a toilet for $79? Wake up, America. And on and on and on and on, right?
Yeah.
When respect to Trump was when he was in office, he said, I'm not taking the pay. I don't think he said that this year, right?
No, because
but I bet you
probably realizes he deserves to pay.
He deserves to pay for the bullshit and the drama, that's for sure. He deserves to pay. So what he did for 4 years for free was a blessing to the country.
Yeah.
You didn't hear Kamala or Biden say they would work for free.
Yeah, right.
And I bet you if you said Trump, you had to do this for free for the next 4 years to be president,
He wouldn't care.
bet your ass he would do it.
He would.
Bet your ass. You ask Biden or Kamala if they would do it. No, I guarantee it would be no. Why should they?
Well, somebody tried to kill him twice, so
Yeah.
he's probably, I want money.
Yeah. Oh, well, once he was president, he has a lifetime salary already. So maybe he didn't take it during that period,
Right.
but then he got it after his thing. I don't know how that makes up there, but he wasn't getting paid then. But once you're done, you have a lifetime salary or some shit like that. And then that should be adjusted, right? When you're a retired president with no expenses, why should you get $500,000 a year for the rest of your life?
That's all.
You figure out what the average person needs to survive in America, right? And we appreciate your service, but why do you have to continue to live like a king? You should still be treated and respected as one, but
The moon's still out.
that was not crazy. It's been like that for a couple days.
Really?
Yeah. Like the sun's been up and the moon's been out at the same time here in South Jersey, Philadelphia area.
I've never noticed that.
But that's that, people. So go out and early vote. Someone should kick all those signs down. I was told that that's against code enforcement for having those signs, at least in Cinnaminson. Look at all these fucking signs.
Google
School.
Google it.
Hold on.
Here.
I was told school systems and city, so I didn't know if that includes government. You follow me? So it may be okay for government to do shit like that, like John Kane and this that. Who's gonna come out here and pick all this stuff up? Probably nobody. But that's us. So, woman voter saying I'm trumping it when we're voting early. I would hope that the American people wise up, and for the fools who already ran to the polls and said Kamala's their bitch, well, in the end, I think you're going to be their bitch. So, make it happen, people. We're off to dig for gold today. We're going to show it. Got some competition out here, too. Got some newbie out here. Newbie. Well, he might be an oldie, but he's not showing the gold out here in Pennsylvania like we are. And then we just seen that someone found a Spanish coin from the 1800s. What was it? What was it? We just talked about it last night with Anthony.
It was a Spanish coin from the
1800 Spanish coin in Pennsylvania. And what was the waterway? The
dam, or the
Susquehanna River area. How about that? Man, the best thing I found was an arrowhead and an Indian penny so far. And a horseshoe, and, you know, some dead crawfish.
And live ones.
So we're going to try and get some gold. All right, guys. Have a great day. Vote smart. You know, I think people vote... Yeah, Trump. It just blows my mind that they're saying Kamala is ahead. I just don't get it. And maybe it's the Kamala people who have the time to go out and early vote, like, you know, the first day, because they don't work and they're unemployed, or, you know, they're migrants who don't have to work, you know. I mean, there's got to be a rhyme or reason, right? You know, if they're influencing the voting, right?
Yeah.
They want you to get out and do it early, you know. I, for one, am working 55 hours a week, sometimes 60 hours a week. I'm going to have to make time to do an early vote. You know, do I want to go after work? No, I'm fucking exhausted. Boom! Check out that. Must be another car show out here in Pennsylvania. Go vote, go vote.